10 maids reveal the weirdest and creepiest stuff they've ever found while cleaning. Maids and house cleaners can find all sorts of things while they're tidying up your home. Hell, they can probably figure out if you're having an affair. But what are the craziest things they've ever seen? Wonder no more. A recent Reddit thread asked maids to share the weirdest and scariest things they've ever found while cleaning someone's home. This stuff definitely goes beyond the typical "oh no, underwear" realm. These are seriously weird, and some are pretty frightening, too. 1. She had decomposed in the water. My grandma ran a trashy, crime-ridden apartment complex in my hometown. A woman, resident had been reported missing, so my grandma and her staff went to check out her unit. She had died suddenly in her bathtub days before, with every door locked, and by the time people came to pull her out she had decomposed in the water so bad that her skin, and various other layers, were sliding off as they pulled her out. I heard it was quite a struggle, and an unforgettable smell. Icon 361. 2. I clean for people who are really into crystals. I clean for people who are really into crystals and storing energy in them. When I started, they asked me to wear gloves when I dusted the crystals so I wouldn't put any energy into them. I recently separated from my husband of 5.5 years, and I was very soon after demoted from crystal dusting. They didn't want my sadness in the crystals. Mercy to me. 3. The worst was the apartment with vomit in the fridge. I cleaned out college kids' apartments between rental periods one summer. The worst was the apartment with vomit in the fridge. The weirdest was the super rich exchange student who just left all her stuff behind. We had to call and double-check the unit was actually empty. I got a designer backpack and a fancy hot water boiler, keeps up to 2 liters of water at perfect tea temperature indefinitely, out of it, though. Owning Steechik. 4. About 20 used needles came showering down on me. Once I was readjusting basement ceiling pieces because they were just slightly off, and about 20 used needles came showering down on me. That sucked. City. 5. I don't know what it was, but it was alive. It was behind a kid's dresser, some kind of pinkish red shiny mold that looked like it was crystallizing somehow. I don't know what it was, but it was alive. SpongeBob SquareBooty. 6. My mother found a guy who died on the toilet. My mother is a maid. She told me once she found a bed with the covers folded around the pillows to look like a dead body. On a similar note, she also found a guy who died on the toilet a few months later. Cracker Joe. 7. I was cleaning and walked into a room full of naked people doing cocaine. I used to work in a hotel, and one day as I was inspecting rooms, one of my attendants approached me asking for help cleaning. Wasn't a busy day, so I said F it, I'll clean down the 4th floor hallway of the East Wing. So I get to my first room, open the door and walk into the kitchen. Boom, 2015 to 2020 buck naked people probably in their mid-30s to 40s just doing lines of blow or what be it on a granite counter. They see me and I just declare, I didn't see anything. Enjoy your time, here's my card if you guys need your room to be serviced. Copper Horizon. 8. Did I mention the puppy? What I call the birthbender? A woman had rented a vacation home to give birth and put the baby with a family for adoption. Apparently, she went on a massive bender right after. Blood everywhere. Rotten food. Condoms in the sink. Bent and burnt spoons. Hundreds of clothing tags. More blood. Poop. Enemas. More blood. Oh, and a journal covered in swastikas, with 6 different letters that were essentially identical tucked inside. They each were written to a man in the Minnesota State Penitentiary, and all of them claimed the baby was his and explained the adoption. All this in one house for one cleaning. It took 19 hours to rehab that place. Did I mention the puppy? There was also a puppy. Lumai 61210. 9. I see some butter from a past Christmas party. That happened in approximately 1984. Me and my mom used to clean her boss's house each Saturday, and there were many, many things I could talk about, but this one takes the cake. One time she wanted to move this hutch from the living room to the kitchen. It was a huge old thing from the early 1900s, stocked with books and dishes that were marginally newer, but still pretty old. So I was cleaning it out to make sure nothing broke, and Mom was washing everything too so it'd look nice. And all is going well until I smell something off. I disregard it and keep going through everything, until I come upon one very dusty butter dish, and the smell comes back in full force. Imagine earwax times 20 with a hint of old library books. I open it up and utter an audible Jesus Christ. As I see some butter from a past Christmas party. That happened in approximately 1984. This was in 2014. I was staring at a disturbingly well-preserved, slightly yellowed stick of butter with 30-plus-year-old knife marks on the end before taking it into the kitchen and showing Mom, who subsequently starts to gag a bit, and we both end up immediately disposing of the Reagan butter in the outside trash. Nikib 123. 10. It was the married couple kissing while wearing clan robes. I was on a cleaning team with 2 other people, and we went to this very nice house in a trendy area of Atlanta. It was my first visit as I was the new person. The house belonged to a married couple, both were lawyers, I believe. In their home office, as I was dusting, I came across some framed photos on the wall that caught my attention. It was the married couple kissing while wearing clan robes with the hoods pushed backwards to show their faces with a burning cross in the background. I think my brain froze in shock. In that job, I dusted a lady's vanity with lines of Coke set up on it. She was pissed, but I was honestly clueless that it was actually Coke. I thought it was baby powder. Oh, to be that naive again, making up beds, there were times sex toys or condoms would roll out with the sheets. Usually, I would just stop right there and leave a note on the bill stating it was a health caution and I wasn't touching it. Seriously, I just wasn't paid enough to pick up someone's used condom or dirty, used sex toy. Olive a freak. Please subscribe my channel.